very good morning to everyone. I am Akanksha Joshi, and on behalf of MergerWare, I take this opportunity to welcome you all to the second session of this exclusive bootcamp on the topic Accelerate M&A Team Onboarding through MergerWare. Do you want to discover MergerWare's mantra to simplify the onboarding process and make it completely hassle-free for you? Yes, our mantra is about taking all the guesswork for you so that your team is productive at all times. Get to experience a frictionless and seamless onboarding process with the MergerWare platform, where the team members can be onboarded or offboarded the platform via simple clicks. What's more, get a new M&A deal and deal execution team up and ready for value creation right from day one. Today, we have with us our product experts, Bala KS and Amrita Behera, who will provide you with a clear understanding of how teams, particularly those involved in mergers and acquisitions, can experience accelerated onboarding with MergerWare's easy-to-use interface. Our product experts have years of experience and expertise working with such situations in mind and are therefore eager to share their knowledge and insights into better helping you understand how we are adapting to new trends involved with mergers and acquisitions as they relate to improved client communication at all stages throughout the process. I would also like to mention that please feel free to share any questions that you may have for our product experts in the Q&A box, and we will make sure to take them at the end of the session. So over to you, Amrita and Bala.
Thanks, Akanksha.
Thanks, Akansha.
Well,
yeah. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. Today's topic, accelerating the onboarding process, is quite close to our heart. Both the user as well as the platform provider are excited during an onboarding process. As the user, we expect the new platform to ease the day-to-day task or activity as soon as possible. And as a platform provider, we expect the user to have the seamless user onboarding experience. And we are thrilled to quickly start on the platform and use it in the most effective and efficient manner. Before diving deep into the topic, let us first understand what is onboarding. Onboarding or welcoming a new user is the process of integrating and familiarizing them with one's service or product. The process helps user to interact with the product for the first time. We all want the interaction to be simple, quick, and pleasant. The more seamless the onboarding process is, the happier the productive the users are. However, onboarding in general might be overwhelming and sometimes challenging too. Now, to list a few of the typical challenges that we generally face during an onboarding processes are like long learning curve. Very often it happens that the learning the tool itself takes a longer time. You don't know whether users are struggling. Sometimes the training are not sufficient. And due to these factors, instead of having a happy learning experience, turns out to be techno stress or techno fatigue scenario. And most often we all face it. Ironically, these software are meant to make our life easy, but can rather hold us back than propelling us forward. The other challenges which we face often is the long setup and installing process. While installing the software or setting up the environment for the software itself takes a longer time than what we expect. Even a complex configuration process can take longer time during the onboarding. Most often the configuration of the workspace itself is quite complex in the whole onboarding process, and it becomes very time consuming too, especially when you have too many users, as we have particularly in an M&A deal, where too many users are involved with different access levels. Well, in such cases, the process can be both complex and time consuming. And these challenges can derail your energy and focus that is required for a smooth onboarding process. Overall, there might be too many roadblocks and silos in the onboarding process itself. And for a successful onboarding of user that is smooth and happy, rather than leaving your users confused and having a techno-stressed mind frame, well, there's an onboarding mantra which is specially crafted at the MergerWare team. At MergerWare, we greatly value the excitement of the new user to quickly start upon the platform and get access to the deal assigned to them. We have therefore meticulously planned the onboarding process on our platform, which is quite simple and can be easily adapted by the user. Well, we are delighted to say that we have an amazing user onboarding experience, and hence MergerWare is the best user adoption platform. So without waiting much, let us see the onboarding mantra at MergerWare. We do not need any special installation or support. We don't need a special technical person for that. The team member or the users are boarded on or off to the platform with the respective roles by the admin. Configuration of the stages or permissions are with simple clicks. The platform is very intuitively designed so that you don't need a special training to do the configuration. Also, the platform helps in automating, tracking, and creating your routine tasks like streams and substreams for different departments through different stages of M&A. Here again, we provide an in-house playbook, or you can import your own template and start updating your task right away without doing too many manual processes or configuration. Also, for an instance, suppose we have 4 users for the HR department. Then we can easily group them under a working group and assign the deals at one shot instead of assigning them one by one. This helps in setting up your deal within a few minutes and onboarding your deal team quickly. The frictionless and seamless onboarding process can save you time and energy so that you can focus more on deal execution right from the day one. So now let us look at the onboarding process flow, which we follow at MergerWare. As you can see, we have 5-step process for the same: define, develop, review, rollout, and operational support. These are different stages of onboarding process flow at MergerWare. In the first step of onboarding, we first try to understand the current process flow in your organization, the current pipeline, stages your deal follows, and if you have a playbook or a template to be imported. Here again, you always have the option to choose our in-house M&A playbook or your own M&A template. We also identified different users to be created, including the number of admin roles, the necessary permission to the respective roles. Hence, after defining the workspace environment for the organization, we move to the develop phase. In the develop phase, we actually import the relevant project data. Soon after the develop phase follows the review process where we regroup. Here we meet up with the admin to see on the pending task and to find out if initial configuration is fine and complete the pending or additional configuration required. Conduct the admin training and planning for the user rollout process, and look out for any change management. Suppose we need to add few more new roles or stages to the platform, prepare the role-based training and add user. In the rollout phase, we train the trainer or do role-based training. Also, if required, we handhold our users to reach the aha moment quickly without any much problem. After that comes the final phase, that is operational support phase. We focus on executing the product support, operational performance, and sustaining the system in the best effective manner. We also conduct monthly, quarterly reviews, provide additional trainings to the users if required, and share our best practices. Well, Bala will be taking you through the demo to have a better comprehension about our platform onboarding process.
Thanks, Amrita. Yeah, so what we'll do is, we'll basically take you through how users are onboarded, and if you look at the process flow that Amrita talked about, basically we're looking at the defined process, right, where we work with the customers, understand what are the current processes, and then see how the users can be onboarded. Right? So the first thing that we would do, I mean, after you understand the current process, is to localize or configure the roles and the stages. So what we would do is, as part of this, we work with the users. We understand what are the various roles that are currently that the that the company is looking at, and then we configure them. So the platform comes with a set of roles, and these can be renamed as per the customer requirements. We also rename the stages if required. So the platform comes with this set of default stages, which are basically the M&A life cycle stages. And if they need to be renamed, you can do that as well. And if any additional role stages need to be added, those can be done as well. And the last step in this process is to update the logo. So by default it comes with the MergerWare logo, and then you can update with the customer logo as well. So once this is done, so basically at this stage, what we have done is, we have to have configured, the stages, the live M&A lifecycle stages, and the roles, according to the customer requirements. And then the next step would be to identify in the roles and the permissions. So this is one of the key steps in the whole process. So what this basically does is build this matrix where you can configure the permissions to the roles, and thereby what you would be doing is enabling the users to get the right permissions to work, to carry out their activities. So the this whole process is as simple as unchecking or checking these boxes here, which would either give not give the access or give the access. And we have all the roles here. You can also add additional roles. And so that way, what at the end of this exercise, what you would have is, okay, these are the set of roles that you have in the organization, and these are all the various functionalities on our platform. So going by by each of those roles, we identify if that role needs access to that specific functionality. Right? And the functionality are spread across the three major groups. We have what's called global, which are basically the platform level permissions. So something like, okay, can deals be created? Backup and restore, which are some of the admin related activities, and then view this permissions and roles and permissions itself, and then create the working groups, manage some of the VDR activities at the platform level. So you would want to identify which role would would have each of these permissions. Uh, Typically by default, admin will have access to everything on the platform. And then the other roles, depending on what the requirements are, enable them. So for example, if in the customer location, if integration manager, or a deal manager would need access to create deal, it's as simple as enabling this functionality. Right. So that way, the first step of providing access at the platform levels are done. And the next step is to identify how to build this matrix at the project level. So project level are basically your deal at the deal level. So at the deal level, again, the admin would continue to have access to everything, and the integration manager, or the deal manager would have access to everything, in that particular deal. So that way, he would get to basically do everything. It could be as adding users, adding different streams of work streams, adding activities, importing the playbook. So everything can be enabled for the deal manager, and the other roles would again depend on what the specific roles would be doing. For example, a stream manager would be something someone like HR, handling HR, or IT, or legal, or any of these streams. So typically they would have access only at the stream level. You wouldn't really give any access at the deal level. Like editing a deal, for example, there could be some confidential information there. So right, so at the stream level, you ensure that the stream manager has access to everything, and similarly at the the other roles as well. For example, if you have a team member, again, team members can be internal or external users. You give them access to only specific activities. Like maybe they would want to update the task or upload documents. Those are some of the use cases. If you have an external user and you would want to give very restricted access to that particular user, you can enable these functions and permissions, and then give that team member role, in this case, to that specific user, right? So that way we ensure that at the deal level, the users again get to get the necessary permissions or access to carry out their activities. And the third level is what we do at the reports as well. So even for the reports, you can define the permissions, which role would have these permissions. Normally you may not want the team member to have access to any of these reports. Again, in this particular case, if you would want to give access, you can give access by enabling that particular functionality, right? And blocked users are someone at the platform level that blocked, so they won't even have access to any of these functionalities. So with this exercise, so this is a very crucial exercise that is carried out and ensures that all the roles have the necessary permissions to carry out the specific tasks while executing a deal. And the way it works is, once the permissions are identified at the roles, users are assigned to the roles, and thereby, when the user logs in, let's say, for example, he logs in as a stream manager, he basically has access to all the functionalities that have been enabled for him, and similarly the other roles as well. Right? So once this is done, so at this point of time, what you have done is you have configured the stages, you've identified what are the various stages, you have configured the roles and the permissions. So the next step would be to add the users to the platform. So what you would again, again, all these functionalities are typically are available only for the admin. So again, you can upload in multiple ways, add users in multiple ways. You can add them individually, or if you have a lot of users, you can do a bulk upload as well. There's a template that the platform provides. You put all the data in the template, and then it uploads the users automatically. So once the users are uploaded to the platform, each of the users do get notifications that they have been given access to the platform. But at this stage, you haven't really added the users to the deals, so they wouldn't really have any access to any of the deals on the platform. Right? So again, when you're adding the roles, users, we also see the role here. So this is how you define what role the user has. And again, we saw earlier that permissions are set at the roles. So that way, if someone is logging in as an admin, he'll basically have access to everything on the platform. Or if someone is logging in as a stream manager, that user will have access to those specific permissions that have been enabled for the stream manager, right? So, so what as part of this, you would also add the admin user, so that way, then we work with the admin to, as part of the training and ensure that he has the necessary, tools to administer the platform. Right. So these are some of the typical steps that we do as part of the onboarding process. Again, you would notice that it's very simple to follow, simple to use, and then very easy to configure. And that way, the user onboarding really happens in a very, very short period of time. And some of the other configurations that we also do is on the where you can identify or configure how we would want to get the notifications or alerts on upcoming tasks. So some companies might want to get alerts, let's say maybe 3 or 4 days before the task is getting over. Or in some organizations, they might want to get alerts in both the conditions. It could be the number of tasks, and so now a number of days, as well as how much percentage is over. Maybe if like 20% is over, and then there are 3 more days to go, I might want to get an alert. So you can easily configure this as well, depending on the requirements. And the other, as part of the configurations, the other configuration that you would also want to do is working groups. And Amrita spoke about this briefly earlier. So what this allows you to do is define the working groups in your organization. Working groups can typically be like HR, or IT, or legal, or sales, or any of these groups. So the idea is, we, as part of the onboarding process, we define this at the platform level, and then within the deals, you can add, the deal manager can add the users to those specific groups. For example, if there are 5 users in HR who are part of a deal, those 5 users can be added to the HR group, and that way it makes the allocation of tasks much easier. And I'll quickly take you through how to create a deal, more focusing on the custom field. So what we what we do is, you can also add custom fields at the deal level. So typically there are all the fields that come by default as part of the platform, and in case you would want to add some additional fields, those can be added as well. So that way, again, this functionality is available only to the admin. And the admin can look at, okay, these are all the additional fields that they would need across all the deals, and those can be defined as part of the onboarding process as well. Right. So once you create a deal, so at this point of time, basically you're all set. You have configured all the stages, so those stages can be part of your deal process. You have identified all the roles, you have added the users, and then you've identified the roles to the users as well. So I'll quickly take you through a specific deal, more to show what are the additional configurations that can be done. So typically, you'd have a list of activities, or tasks that you would want to complete, in any as part of executing a phase, right? So what you see here is, the MergerWare template, and Amrita made a reference to this earlier, where either you can use the MergerWare template, or if you would want to import your own playbook, basically you can do that as well. So again, this can be configured, so you can import your own playbook. So we help with we work with customers, help help them to configure initially, set up these templates and configure them initially. And then once you have, let's say if you have a set of deals and you would want to standardize this playbooks across the organization, you can also export it as a deal template. So what this would enable you to do is, you're basically creating a template of the deal that can be used across the organization. So as part of the onboarding, as we saw earlier, as we continue to refine, you realize, okay, there are certain activities that can be standardized across the organization, and this helps you to do that. Right. So this brings me to the end of the demo. So basically, what I would want you to leave with messages, the onboarding process is really is very smooth on our platform, and this has been helping our customers in getting onboarded quickly, and then ensure that they start working on deals from day one. Right. So as part of this, what I would also want to do is take you through a case study, where um, we talk about how our very strong onboarding process helped one of our large customers, in getting onboarded very quickly and smoothly, and then carrying out one of the complex deals that they had in their process.
Well,
So,
yeah, as mentioned by Bala, to gain a greater insight of the process and the platform, let me just take you through the journey where we can see how MergerWare leverages a pharma company to acquire a healthcare organization. Our client was a well-known US-based global consulting firm that helped leading organizations in healthcare. The deal was quite crucial for them as it could make our client as one of the largest healthcare consultancies with a strong global presence. However, the deal being highly complex and always had a risk of not being executed in the right manner could severely hinder the value creation. There were few challenges which were hindering the value creation. To list a few of the challenges were like streamlining the client's M&A process right from the due diligence to post-deal integration, and difficulty in achieving seamless communication among the team members, which resulted in unclear vision and focus, also which resulted in lack of productivity. Difficulty in achieving a clearer, holistic view of post-merger integration. They had challenges in tracking cross-project initiatives too. There was an inconsistent M&A process, which led to confusion and inefficient throughput. They were unable to have an executive summary of all the deals bifurcated through the different stages and were unable to know what exactly was happening with the deal, like getting a bird eye view of different deals. So we started with the onboarding process by defining the organization's current process flow to understand their existing M&A process, playbook, and overall process of running due diligence. We also tried to understand their current process around sharing of confidential documents, approvals, streams involved, and handover management from transaction team to integration team. And the value addition done by MergerWare was on multiple fronts. So the value addition which happened was like we had a full stack solution for them that helped them to embed their due diligence and integration process. It was also fully mapped to the organizational process playbook. Our client required a document management system too, a kind of VDR, where all the team across the due diligence and integration can post documents with controlled permission across several departments and stakeholders. Also, MergerWare's digital platform enabled them to create alignment by storing all the deal data in a single place seamlessly. This would provide accessibility to the documents to the right stakeholder anytime and anywhere, along with enhanced security. The platform helped them save time because all the routine tasks got automated and ensured that the crucial human capital was utilized where was the most required. A role-based training was also done. We trained the key stakeholders and extended team identified by the organization and gave them training in different sessions depending upon their role. These training sessions were fully adapted for the team. The entire M&A process was built and integrated within the platform. Also, it was more localized to meet customers' requirement and in their M&A environment. One of the most important aspect was that the customer were able to effectively and seamlessly track their non-M&A cross-project initiatives too. Also, it served as a single source of truth, eliminating the need for tracking them in separate spreadsheets and enabled the stakeholders to have visibility into entire process and increased visibility and accountability too. Platform also provided the ability to create templates of the final M&A playbook, which helped the customer in saving time, and they don't had to just recreate a playbook every time they had a new deal in the pipeline. Since all data were in a single platform, which helped them to have integrated dashboard for a different audience every time. Moreover, customized reports were available in real time that reduced reporting and the need of creating additional PowerPoint presentations for executive meetings too. And also, MergerWare's collaborative functionality allowed the team to collaborate during the pre-deal and post-deal phase seamlessly with collaborative features like inbuilt chat, ability to add comments, any questions or answers, and many other that enhance the team productivity significantly. And there was a systematic deal execution too with templates of the final M&A playbook, which helped them in reusing it without recreating them every time. Hence, our client was also able to see significant benefits, and that has been able to seamlessly track multiple initiatives with increased visibility and accountability.
So thank you so much, Amrita and Bala. Coming to the Q&A session, we have a few questions from our audience. So the first question is, can we onboard external teams like bankers, advisors as part of the deal team in your platform?
Well, yes, one can easily onboard any external stakeholders on the platform and the deals, and also can give restricted access to the deal informations.
Great. So coming to the second question, does MergerWare provide an M&A playbook with a platform?
Yeah, I'll take this question. We provide our own M&A playbook, and what we also do is we work with the customers to finalize their own playbook. So that way it's really flexible and makes it easier for them to adapt what they really want.
Thank you, Bala. So the third and the last question, how much time will MergerWare take to set up the platform?
Well, I take up this question. MergerWare platform can be up and ready within 24 hours. And then the M&A process can be optimized gradually. We work with our customer closely to help them optimize their playbook and train them at the same time.
Okay, thank you, Amrita. So these were some really great insights. Thank you very much for this session, Bala and Amrita. I believe there were many excellent points to ponder on. This, I'm sure, has whetted our appetites for more. Thanks a ton to everyone who came to today's session. We hope that you found this bootcamp informative and interesting, and that it provided you with a clear understanding of how you can accelerate your onboarding process with the help of MergerWare. Thanks again for joining and have a wonderful day ahead.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.